Hello, everybody. Hello. What is up? Welcome back to vidIQ, where today we are going to be once again looking at your YouTube channels during this special week of live streams for Creator Appreciation Week. We'll talk more about Creator Appreciation Week in just a moment. But how are you all? If it is your first time here, normally I put up a poll. Let me just do that real quick, shall we? I will start a new poll. Is this your first vidIQ live stream? Let us know, and we'll see. Usually it's about half of you, so that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We have an awesome live stream planned for you because we have a special guest. It's PurGE. How's it going?
Hey everybody, it's great to be here on vidIQ. This is great. I'm so excited to jump in and see your content.
Yes, excited to have you here. PurGE is going to be helping today with reviewing your channels, and specifically too, we're going to be digging into your videos as well. Something we get to do a little bit, but now we have someone, I would say, much more qualified on our hands here to help us dissect a little bit more and help you have better hooks, have better retention overall on your content.
Absolutely.
So, Kelsey, thank you for being here. We are going to play a quick introductory video because we are already getting results in on this poll, and it says 60% of you, it's your first time at a vidIQ live stream, so you're probably going to want to watch the next less than 1 minute video explaining how this works every time we do channel reviews.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
All right. So before we get started, Kelsey, there's a few housekeeping things we have to go over.
Of course.
First and foremost, I wanted to remind everyone, it is Creator Appreciation Week. This is the last day for Creator Appreciation Week. A couple things you should know. We are doing a 50% off discount for both annual and monthly plans of vidIQ Boost, which features all of our tools. You'll be seeing them throughout the live stream. So you can use the links down below or use code JustCreate or JustCreate-YR, depending on if you want an annual membership or not. And there will be, during this live stream, people signing up, right? So we're giving away 1 month of free one-on-one coaching to 5 random people who purchase Boost during this live stream. So you'll get an email after the stream if you were selected, and you'll get a whole month of one-on-one coaching as well as the Boost tools. So the Boost tools you just purchased. So that's what we're doing today. We'll show you a few of our tools here in a little bit, but thank you for being here. And with that, Kelsey, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love in that intro video with the confetti, with the kids going, yay! I don't know why, it just cracks me up every time I see it.
I've been meaning to get like a confetti like effect, and I never have it set up. But a couple people on staff do, where they can just hit a button just for no reason, or all.
I want live confetti. Like I should just pull something down, and we could like if there's a YouTube channel that really impresses me, I should have like a golden buzzer, and it just goes, pew, you know, like on the what is it? Not The Voice.
America's Got Talent does that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, I guess everyone can just imagine. You'll just have to let them know this will be that moment. So we do have some channels we picked ahead of time, and we will be getting into random selection for the second half of this live stream. So stay tuned for that. Those forms are down below. You can submit. If you submitted last time, it's been deleted. So you'll need to submit for this specific live stream. All right. First and foremost, please subscribe to PurGE if you would like some tips and tricks for editing with Adobe products. This is
and more than that too, Dan. Like we cover more than just Premiere Pro in there too. Although that is, you know, the center point. That is the software that I use. I just wanted to keep it in there that there is more that you can find.
I see. AI editing tools, CapCut. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, and After Effects. I mean, After Effects is an Adobe product, but you know, I've reviewed some AI tools, like for example, the voice cloning there on the right. That's an NVIDIA tool, and I've done some like comparison between like real and AI stuff. Yep.
So There you go. All of your editing needs. The channel is linked down below. If you just tap on Premiere Gal, please do subscribe. We're going to be getting into why you should, because we're going to be talking about the editing of a lot of videos. The first channel up is Adventures in Dirt. They have 10,000 subscribers, 393 videos. And just by the name alone, I'm already getting some vibes here. I'm already kind of like set up for what this channel's about. But this was one of the ones you picked ahead of time. What stuck out to you?
Yeah, what stuck out, well, actually, it was in the content itself. I started watching some and I was like, okay, maybe I could have some tips here. But I mean, initially, when you come in, like you were saying, Dan, you already know what's going on here. And, with the thumbnails, you can see that, oh, maybe it's like treasure hunting or like finding things in the dirt, right? So you immediately know what you're going into. But when I was watching one of the first videos, I realized it started off with just the talking head. And I was thinking that maybe starting in the action could be almost a better hook, maybe a teaser of something that was going to come. Obviously, when you
Hey,
hover on YouTube, it's different. But here we go. This is what I was talking about. We can watch a little bit of it.
Okay, cool.
Hey, welcome to the Weekly Dirt, where I'm going to show you all kinds of things being found with metal detectors, including America's first silver dollar coin.
Can we pause here, Dan? So I think like on YouTube now, it's almost become a little passe. Not that there's anything wrong with this shot, but to say like what's coming up, it's like just get into it, like show what you're doing, right? And I think we've talked about this. You guys have talked about this before.
Mhm.
And then having the, subscribe and the thumbs up has also kind of become a little passe because it's just overused. Like maybe wait for like a cool moment later on where you can be like, oh yeah, by the way, if this video is helping you out, like, drop a dirt emoji below, like with a wink or something like that. Cause then you're like, okay, this guy like knows what he's talking about. Like you don't want to like say subscribe in the front because that's almost like it almost makes you not want to subscribe in a way now. Um, and it takes time for people to want to subscribe. And I get the idea of like reminding people because it does help, but maybe a little bit farther along. Wouldn't you agree, Dan?
I would absolutely agree. I tried to pull up a dirt emoji to drop in their comments for them, but the only dirt emoji that comes up is the poop emoji, and that feels bad. So I'm not going to do that. But I like that idea. So I would say shovel, maybe.
A shovel is a
Um,
great one, or like a treasure. I need to
Ooh,
brush up on my available emojis. I tend to not know
I
when it
thought
goes
there was,
beyond
yeah, I thought there was something. So shovel's not there either, but we could do
gold
uh,
coin,
tr
maybe?
treasure. Oh yeah, gold coin. There we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, the,
something like that. I know that Eric the Electric I watch, and he has a very big following now, and he does these like food competitions where he like tries to eat the whole menu of McDonald's, and he'll like wittingly ask people to subscribe if he like finishes the meal like in the middle of the video, or drop a poop emoji if you know what I'm talking about. And it's like it's super cute and like fun. So I think this type of channel could excel at that, right? And maybe
absolutely.
set it up in a more exciting way. Clearly the guy knows what he's doing. He's got the whole mic set up, and he has a pretty good camera, it looks like. So I think
It-
showing what is to come is important. Here we start to see a little bit, but it's already 17 seconds in, right?
right. And this is because like the expectation is like metal detector finds. It's you would want to start with that action of like, today we're going out with metal detector and like, yeah, throw some B-roll up there. I do think it's good to introduce yourself, if you're going to be on face cam, like it's good to introduce yourself at some point, but I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. And then just one more comment on like the like and subscribe stuff. These now light up when you say things like that, especially on
Yeah,
mobile.
they do. They do.
Yeah. So that is something to keep in mind. Like YouTube, even YouTube themselves, I feel like are trying to tell you, like, you don't have to put these animations on your videos. We got you. Just try to call it out and we will light this button up for you.
Yeah. And I tend to like, even with my tutorial based content, it's just educational. I'll like, just kind of set up the question of the why in the video. And then sometimes if it's a longer video, I don't actually introduce myself until about 4 minutes into the video. I'm like, oh, hey, friend, by the way, I'm Kelsey, this is what this is about, because they're already watching that. So that's even more of an opportunity for them to maybe convert into a subscriber at that point in the video versus right in the beginning when they're like, what is going on here? But yeah, I think that there's ways to tease too. Like if this is a find of a lifetime, I watched some podcasts where they like kind of tease the beginning of like like a kind of cool moment later on in the video, and so it's kind of like somebody's going, "Whoa, what is that?" And then they have people like reacting, and then it's like that sound effect of like leading up to something, and then it cuts to black and it starts. So it could kind of be something like him finding this, and we don't see what it is. Maybe it's blurred out. You can even do a pixelation effect on the thing, and then you're like, oh, okay, I need to watch to find out what this thing is.
It's awesome work they are doing with thumbnails, but I did notice about a few of them. It's the first in America, and it's just so like, I don't know, it's vague a little bit. I wish there was just one little key here in the thumbnail that would get me to understand, like, the first in America is, it's like you're so close. There's like just one word or something missing here that's just gonna really hit this home for someone who's like a new viewer, just seeing the thumbnail right on the homepage. The first what? Like, even if it said like the first quarter, I found the first quarter in America or something like that.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think a good thumbnail also raises questions, but in this case, it kind of is raising the wrong questions. Maybe you want to find out, like, you know, exactly what you said, the first something, and it's kind of maybe even blurred out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about the red and the red and the yellow certainly pop. And it just looks like a screenshot from the actual video. Maybe if you cut out the quarter or the coin from the background and you can add a little bit of a glow effect around the coin to make it pop a little bit more, to create some more 3 dimension. And it doesn't take a lot of work to do that these days. I mean, there's background removers. They make it pretty easy, right?
Yeah, they do. AI tools as well. Yeah, there's tons of stuff. So, yeah, I think even your idea about blurring it out, like anything to add that just extra bit of intrigue, always helps bring some new people in. Not that this channel is any slouch. Like 2.9K views in 3 days, awesome work for
That's
10,000
good.
subscribers. And then the other thing I want to point out real quick, these are just some of the tools you have access to when you install the vidIQ extension. And if you have Boost, you unlock all of their potential. So we can see that this video is performing above average for this creator, which is excellent. You get a closer look at their thumbnail. You can see different scores here. This is like a slight outlier for them. So there are different things like the overview for their whole channel, and then our AI coach as well. So if you wanted to do some research as you're watching different videos on YouTube. So if you're wondering what all of these things are, that is vidIQ at work right there. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Adventures in Dirt before we move on?
Nothing per se. I mean, does he have are the tags on that video? Well, I guess it's 8 views. If we go down to the tags, I'm just curious to see what he has down there. Or is it moved to a different location?
They
The
might have
tags.
moved it. Oh, here we go. Channel tags, video tags.
Metal detecting. Yeah, I mean, all of these are good. At the end of the day, it's like, once you have your subscriber base, these can assist, of course, but I was just trying to see if there was anything that stuck out to me. Does he have Adventures in Dirt in here in his video tags?
I see Adventures in Dirt as one word.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. You'll find that when people find your channel, they are in search. If you look at your data, a lot of people are searching by your name, and that can happen when you're a very small channel too.
Right. That is true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. It was just something that when I saw that first video, I was like, oh, that's some feedback that I have just for the introduction. But if you want to, just before we jump on to the next one, do you want to see if his other video starts the same way? Because maybe it doesn't.
That one, because the first thing he said, it did point to like this being a series. I'm kind of wondering if there's another series.
Welcome to the Weekly Dirt.
So the Weekly Dirt, and I appreciate that that's not the title, because it doesn't. I think that's great for your core audience, but I don't know what the Weekly Dirt necessarily means.
Right.
Is every video the Weekly Dirt, or is there another series? So what about Hidden Treasures Exposed?
Okay.
Hey, prepare to be amazed. This week we are going to explore
He does it
best
here.
metal detector.
Yeah, that was exactly what we were saying.
Yeah. So I think it was unfair to just call out that one, but like keep doing that same sort of style because I know that like then viewers like, okay, I know what to expect. But maybe he was trying something new, you know? It's always good to experiment. There's nothing wrong with, mixing that up just to keep it fresh. But just something to keep in mind, I think, is that initial hook because we have short attention spans these days.
It makes me want to go off on a different tangent for a sec because there's channels, I don't know if you've seen them. They specialize in like refurbishing old items. Like they'll find this old antique or something and then they'll like make it new again. And they find so many cool things. I'm wondering if they could have a whole separate channel where they take that thing over to that channel and fix it up.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you have to create a second channel, like have it be kind of related, but on a different topic, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does look like based on some of the thumbnails that items eventually do get cleaned, but those can make for great shorts if you're thinking about different types of content you can do. It was just such a cool channel that seems to really understand its audience and does have shorts going up. The most popular 5.2K views. So nicely done. And doing some
Yeah.
live streams as well.
Yeah, it's great. I think as long as like the value is clear, like I always go back to that, like why are people watching? Like are they being satisfied by it? For example, some people, as you were saying, like to watch things being cleaned. It's satisfying. Do they want to follow the journey? Some of them feel like a weekly journey of discovery. In this case, are they wanting to be inspired, educated? So I think trying to figure out what is that kind of core thing can help you ultimately kind of frame your stories while you're editing and planning to shoot as well.
Absolutely. Adventures in Dirt, thank you for submitting. And we will go on to BD Bricks,
BD Bricks.
which is a Lego channel. Very
Yeah.
excited to see. So this was another one Kelsey has pre-selected. The first thing I noticed about it, I gotta say, we'll look at the content, but it was the thumbnails for me. I do feel like some research could be done when it comes to like how people are presenting Lego thumbnails, especially when they're reviewing like specific sets and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, one positive thing to say is that it's consistent, right? It's
Yes.
like literally, it is BD Bricks when you see this thumbnail. That's for sure. He's got that consistency down to the pixel. Speed build, just changing the images. And, potentially you could take a photo of the final product and make a more enhanced hero image of what that looks like. But yeah, I chose this channel because it's different from something that I've seen in a while, and I was interested in primarily the editing of these videos because he kind of took the approach of if you just want to play one of them, Dan, it's just music playing in the background
Okay.
as he shows. Well, first he has the BD Bricks logo, which it doesn't have to be there because we know what it is, right? So that takes, a few seconds from the beginning, which is kind of an older technique, but it's nothing terrible. And then he shows the box with music. But I'm almost thinking he should have the actual audio because, in a sense, this kind of fits the category for me of satisfying
Mhm.
watches, right? And that kind of ASMR aspect. I don't know if BD Bricks has experimented with this yet, but to actually, have it, pour out and have the fast cutting, and they maybe don't even have to be the actual sounds from the actual recording. I know a lot of cooking videos do that where they like chop something really fast and they add the sound design after. So that could be cool. And I noticed he didn't have any shorts either. Even if he wants to keep it this style, he could do like ASMR satisfying edits in the shorts to bring more people to his long form and then, use the related video tagging that YouTube now has to bring people to watch the full satisfying edit. But I think he might be missing out on an opportunity here to, have that sound um, I don't know, impact our satisfying pleasure in watching these builds. And then the final reveal could maybe have the epic music instead of having it throughout. But I did notice that he has affiliate links to the music that he uses in his description box, which is great. Love that he's taking advantage of, affiliate marketing with Upbeat.
That's awesome to see too. I would also say there are other retailers that sell Lego. I don't know if Lego has an affiliate program, but certainly Amazon and places like that. For the set that you're building, you could throw an affiliate link there, for that specific set, depending on if you have access to the affiliate program.
That is correct. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, definitely sign up if you haven't yet, BD Bricks to Amazon affiliate. I know I use it for microphones that I use. I just plop those down there because you just never know. You never know who's going to click. So that's one way to help you monetize the channel, I think. And how often is he posting? Can we go back to the page here?
I just want to make sure that was a turntable. There's so much
Oh,
production being put into
that's
this.
kind of cool. Yeah, he's an oh, that was another thing about the editing. I noticed some of his like speed ramping could be improved, like at the very end when he's revealing the final product. Some of the speed ramps where he's changing the speed. If he shoots the final reveal in a higher frame rate, he can have smoother speed ramps from going slower to faster. In this case, it's fine because it looks like it's shot at a normal speed. But here, when it starts to slow down at certain points, you can kind of see
Oh, yes.
the frames happening. So yeah, I'd be curious to know how often he's posting, just to see.
So it looks like we have 5 days, 12 days, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So, okay, maybe what does that look like? Maybe a video a week, maybe a couple.
Yeah, about weekly, I would say,
Yeah.
or two per week sometimes.
I do think their production value is helping a lot here. I mean, incredible camera work. Lighting is perfect. The turntable, you've obviously invested a lot into this. It's for me, on top of all the tips that Kelsey just gave you, I would say that you're going to get even more attention if you can get these thumbnails right. And I'm obsessed with them because I feel like so many more people, like we already have some outliers here according to our tool, which is great. But like if we do speed, let's see, Lego speed build. Already, like similar backdrops to your own clean white backdrop, but we can see like the finished product and it's being promoted as a speed build. And these videos are just completely blowing up. I know these are larger channels, but it's worth noting that like now we can see the expectation of a speed build video is a more finished product, and it's something you should test.
Yeah, I always say like, why not test it out once if you're like wanting a new look? Maybe work with somebody else, like a designer, to come up with some ideas that maybe you didn't think of. I always try to do that when I'm feeling like a little bit creatively flat on ideas. I can just, bounce ideas off of someone else. And, if it goes well, then you can have them as somebody that can make these for you weekly. Sometimes it's nice to like outsource some things when you can. I know that, your channel is still building up. But certainly, an investment like that is ultimately, I think, going to pay off and help grow your channel,
Absolutely. BD Bricks, thank you for submitting. I'm assuming you're ready to move on.
Yeah. Oh, I was just also going to point out that something about the avatar, his profile photo, it looks like Bricks is like a little bit too close to the edges for my
yeah.
like in terms of spacing.
Hmm.
That logo, if that could be, so the logo from the banner, the Lego, not the logo,
Yeah.
the Lego in the banner, like that's a cool logo. What if you put BD on the left side of that cube and then Bricks on the other side? That would be, I think, a sick
I love
profile image. So BD Bricks, I want to see that. Let's put that in there.
Because one of the things I wanted to mention on the last channel is that when you tell people, hey, subscribe, or when you put your logo on the screen like this, YouTube already has you covered here. But imagine someone seeing that on the homepage and they see the Lego brick. It's iconic. It's great suggestion. Moving on to Paul Blair Gray Square Real Estate. I had to read that super carefully. So just a couple more channels before we get into random selections here. And Paul is next on the list with 200 subscribers and 73 videos. I want to say just by the banner, they're doing real estate in both Dallas and Los Angeles, or maybe they used to do real estate in one, now the other. That's kind of interesting. Or is it maybe it's people specifically relocating? The banner is telling a story, and I'm trying to dissect it.
Yeah. I think probably he does it in both. Like, I know I watch some chiropractic channels and they have offices in 2 different locations, so maybe that's what's happening here. But it looks like Gray Square is the name of the real estate company.
Ah,
I
yes.
would
Okay.
but it is a very long title for a YouTube channel. Um, but it's also kind of funny too because it rhymes. But it looks like, his about me is pretty fleshed out. Um, looks like the real deal. I think what's great about real estate channels like this is like it's a great way to, I guess, boost validity in your business. You're like, okay, I'm out here, I'm shooting professional videos. Like I took a look at some of his videos and like great aerial shots. You can see he hired people to help him out, a nice voiceover. Um, he knows what he's doing here. He knows how to vlog. He knows how to do animated captions. Um, so clearly these are like well produced. I guess the question that I had is like, are you like in terms of goals here, are you trying to just market homes or are you trying to give tips to people that want to know how to buy like first time homeowner tips or something? Like I feel like that was one thing that I got from lacking from this channel because if I don't live in Texas or what was the other place? California?
Yeah, Los
Texas?
Angeles. Yeah.
Or Los Angeles. If I don't live in those 2 areas, well, why would I want to subscribe to you? So you're kind of by having that banner, Paul's kind of limiting himself to those regions by just showing these homes. Not to say that you can't get a wide audience, but I think if you put just general tips on the channel too, I think he could significantly increase to over 1,000 subscribers much faster with the quality of videos that he has.
Mm. I completely agree. I think when it comes to real estate channels, there's like so many kind of directions. You could do this where you use the channel as like a repository for the different houses that are for sale. Um, and I think on that same channel, you could absolutely be broadening a little bit. Like I'll tell you this, like when I was looking to relocate to where I am now, what I would do is look for channels that were in the area and giving me tours of the actual things going on. Like I'm about to move to a new place. So the house is part of it. And if I find a realtor, I'm going to look at a lot of houses or whatever with them. But like, what's the place like? What's the lifestyle
To-
like? So there's probably so many things depending on the towns where they could really like do walking tours and things like that. Um, there's also some incredible views down here.
Yeah, I agree. It can also, while real estate is the commodity that's being sold, the place is important, the community around, like, oh, let's take a walk down here and see what's just around the corner or what's the closest shopping area. That's very interesting. See, here you can kind of get nice aerial shots, right? Of what to expect.
So this home, yeah, it's under construction. This video has exceptional views for them, and I'm trying to figure out because this is about a specific home, but I'm wondering if it's this right here, Discover Modern Living. It's kind of like now, yes, you can sell this home if that's what your goal is, but people are like, "Ooh, I could never afford something like this, but I'm really interested," or it's something about
Mhm.
the style of home, or something has captivated a much wider audience here.
Right.
And
Yeah,
we can
and
see
and
it's look at that. It took a little bit. It took a couple days, but
interesting.
I should say months. It's January.
It's interesting. It has 4 likes
Ooh,
and
interesting.
only
So
maybe there was a ad put on this?
it could have been an ad. It could have also been posted maybe on Facebook or something. I
Mhm.
almost missed that. Yeah, the engagement is telling us that this was probably posted somewhere else.
Okay, because I know sometimes if you're trying to market a home and you use, Google Ads or something to put it on, you'll see that there's a lot more views on it, but less engagement. That's because people just watched, like, the first 30 seconds of it on a YouTube ad and
Yeah.
skipped it or something.
Really good catch there. And again, you're going to hear me promote the tools a lot today, but this is why I love having these installed because you can kind of see where things picked up and you're investigating the video and thinking, should I do a video similar to this one? And looking at the engagement, you can kind of see, oh, maybe there's something else going on here,
So
which
I
isn't a
guess the
bad
goal.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's different approaches for what he needs, but I guess a challenge for Paul would be like, how do you get more engagement, right? Let me turn back on my camera again as I was
No
telling you.
problem. Engagement on your videos, super important, and you can definitely get there by just asking simple questions. We talked earlier about, hey, throw a shovel emoji in the description if you like finding things in the dirt, from that previous channel.
Yeah. Yeah, and also maybe I think a good approach too is comparing different properties too at different price points, what you get for this money in Dallas versus in California. I think that could be like a cool comparison. Because I know people are like moving around a lot. I know California is like super expensive right now with property tax and like, what could you get in Dallas versus, living
Yeah.
in LA, you know?
There's also a trending story right now where a lot of home insurance companies are having to pull out of California thanks to a whole mess of things, climate change and laws and all this stuff. And if you are covering the California area, you could absolutely have a video on your channel talking about that. And these suggestions are coming from a place of, Kelsey, I think you would agree, we're the kind of
Mhm.
people who want people to grow on YouTube organically. And
Absolutely, yeah.
if this
And
is dollars doing this, and that's fine, but like really to have sustainable growth, it is, you're going to want an organic following of some kind.
absolutely, and I know, like, as somebody who has watched, yes, I'm going to admit it, Selling Sunset and that whole series, it's like, you see different realtors coming together and collaborating too, and, oftentimes, I know it is competitive, but coming together and partnering on things can help too, and, collaboration was the beginning of YouTube, the big vloggers coming together and collaborating to help boost it. You can find other ways to partner with other creators or people that are on the internet with the channel too. When you're in LA or Texas, I think it could really help you share the knowledge. So good job, great start. I think there's a lot of possibilities here, really.
Paul, thank you for sharing, and best of luck to you. We have one more channel to look at before we get into our random selections. I know there's a lot of folks here. We obviously can't get to 1,000 channels in one stream, but we're going to see a pretty wide variety today. So sit tight, make sure you're taking some notes as we go along here, and look for things that may apply to your channel. Are you using perhaps maybe YouTube ads to promote some of your content? And are there ways you're looking to grow a little more organically, for example? That's a takeaway from this channel. If they are, we're just assuming. We don't really know where these came from. Okay. Drake Malone is our final pre-selected channel.
Oh, yeah.
854 subscribers, 85 videos. We have a fitness channel for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I guess people who do fitness. Obviously I don't know the lingo, but love
Yeah.
to see how active they are. It looks like probably a few videos a week.
1 day ago, 3 days ago, 7 days ago. Yeah, he's, like, ramping up here. I think he has a good thumbnail design, a good, strong image. I watched, a couple of the videos, and the editing is really nice. The only thing that threw me off in the beginning is that he first comes on screen after this kind of intro on what it is, and it looks like he's saying something. Not in this one, I don't think it was oh, yeah, this one. He's, like, waving and he's, like, saying something, but there's no voice. And so that kinda threw me off. I was like, "Huh, but then I watched his other videos, and I think he does it intentionally. So he doesn't have a voice even though he's, like, saying something in the beginning. So for me, it just kind of, I don't know, threw me off. Maybe he doesn't do that in all of his videos, but I was expecting him to be like, "Hey, like, come on, guys, let's go do this workout together, and ready, 1." And it just wasn't, any voice, which I guess is fine. I love the editing where he has, like, coming up in, like, a rectangular box, like, he's very aware of, what people need and to prepare for what is next without having to have the voice, so I don't think it's necessary, but, if I was doing it, I would probably just not mouth anything in the beginning 'cause it just kinda threw me off as a viewer, um, but yeah, I hope he gets more views here because he deserves it from the content, the quality that I can see here. When did he open the channel?
Let's see. So if we go to the about section, it should say 2017, but the first upload 6 months ago. This is great
So
progress.
so he kinda just, revamped the channel, maybe privated older videos from 2017, which I think is a great strategy. If you guys have older channels that you were, like, tried to start and it's just not up to par with your current content, I agree. I think maybe you could private those and just kind of start a new goal and a new trajectory in that style. So I think he did a good move there by doing that.
Something I picked up on with the titles, that's pretty interesting, is when he talks about specific things, so in this case, full body, no equipment, that becomes an outlier video for the channel. So 15-minute fat burning beginner workout, I think that's important. Full body, no equipment. But there was other ones on the latest category that felt a little, maybe they could pick up in the future. 30-minute intense hit, full body, no equipment. Maybe it's the terminology of hit. Like I'm a super layman to this, but you probably would want me to watch despite that if I decide to start a workout routine. I don't know what this means. I probably only
Right.
take one video to learn it, but like if the video doesn't feel approachable, that could, that could keep people from clicking. 40-minute strength and cardio, full body workout. There's strength and cardio is like pretty vague, but then when you do things with weights or without weights or at home workout, like the more specific you are, the better the videos seem to do. It's just something I'm picking up.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. Maybe it's something that is in the fitness community, this new thing about like a hit workout or something. I'm not really into it. I'm more of like a yoga gal myself, but I'm not sure what that means. So I think you're onto something here. And notice that those views are a little bit lower, but again, it could just be. I know that I recently adjusted a thumbnail of mine to give you an example. I did a review of Opus Clip, which is an AI tool that can basically take your long form and like spit out a bunch of short form content that you can then tweak. And one of the benefits of it is that you can bring it into Premiere Pro. And my initial thumbnail had a like 50 shorts in 1 minute. And beneath it, there was the Opus Clip logo, and I didn't have the Premiere Pro logo on the thumbnail. And initially, it was a 10 out of 10. Like, I was super bummed. I put a lot of time and effort into the video, and I realized we just had it wrong. So it's the second one here. It's the OpenAI. I ended up changing the title to include OpenAI social media clipping for Premiere Pro editors. And so I flipped it up to be like, take a video, go to Shorts, make sure Premiere Pro logo's there. So oftentimes, if I try to introduce a different software, my users are like, I'm not interested in that. No, I don't want that. So I quickly corrected it, and now it's up to 7 out of 10 since that move. So it's not huge, but it did make some improvement because people related to it. They understood what it was.
That is super, super important too. It's about having a clear message and then that audience understanding as well. So I will say, like, this channel, very impressive. We've seen a number of fitness channels in the past, and for 6 months of progress, I'm actually blown away by how they've been able to break into this niche. And while there is room for improvement, I do think they're on the right track for sure.
Absolutely.
So that was Drake Malone, and we are about to get into random selections. But
Let's
there
go.
is one more quick shout out here. We want to talk real quick about TimeBolt. Because if you're
Yeah.
looking for some extra editing assist here, I'll let Kelsey explain.
Yeah, TimeBolt is a tool that I integrated into one of my AI video tool videos at the beginning of 2023, like right before the explosion happened or like right during it. And they have a kind of a plugin with it's like an extension in Premiere Pro that can do the silence removing. And obviously, since this time it was launched, there's a lot of silence removers now. Even Premiere Pro has some inside of it. But TimeBolt has some other benefits too, because it works as a standalone app. So you don't need to be a pro editor. You can just use it on its own, or you can use it like with DaVinci, Final Cut, CapCut. So it's kind of for like the novice to video editing to kind of come in and just quickly clean up a Zoom call. And actually, Doug, who is, I think, the founder of it, he reached out and he was like, hey, like, I just submitted my channel for this a live stream. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that you guys were like trying to grow a channel. Like, let's take a look. So I can see here that like they have their logo as the main profile photo and they have 973. And I think they've really only been promoting it for, I guess, I don't know when they started this channel, but I've only known about it for over a year. So 3 years. I think they could be doing better in terms of subscribers. I think a lot of the design is kind of, I mean, here they have some consistency with the Thursdays. Some of them just kind of look like screenshots, the earlier ones. So maybe updating those thumbnails from the past, or privating those older videos that aren't relevant might help. And some of these are really long. Like the first two here are like 40 minutes. And these are live helps. So maybe this is where he could probably benefit from something like Opus Clip that can like spit out quick highlights that he can share with his audience. Because I think ultimately with this type of channel, you're providing customer support, right? You want people to understand what the tool does, or maybe case studies that are easy to comprehend. When you post a live 40-minute video, look, it only has 34 views on this. You know, you could be getting, you know, triple that amount at least, if not more, if you kind of make it more easily digestible. I know some people that go live and then they just unlist it or something, and then they have like short tidbits that they post later on.
Yeah. Those short tidbits I think would help here because it looks like they cover a lot of ground in each one of these. But like keep in mind the viewer wasn't around for the live part and you've re-uploaded it as a regular video. So this specific one that wasn't something they could have watched live anyway. They would have had to follow you on Twitch if you're doing on Twitch or if you're unlisting YouTube live streams. And so already it's not being made for me, the person who has time to watch a video separately.
Right.
And then there's so many things, so much ground you cover. But if you were to take that advice to heart and break your streams up, you could have several more videos, but they'd be shorter, maybe like 8 minutes long, for example, and they'd be about one specific thing. And when you were doing that, I was noticing when we clicked on oldest and popular, when you were talking about more specific tips, you were getting a lot more views. But this new strategy of, well, let's re-upload our live streams and then put everything on the table. You know, it's Live Help Thursday. So it's almost like a promo for a future thing, and it's not doing enough to like get me to watch right now. I feel like I just have to wait till I catch the next Thursday live stream.
Yeah. It's hard with these type of channels too. I'm actually struggling with this myself because I recently launched my own extension for Premiere. It's called the Gal Toolkit, and I just launched a YouTube channel for it. And it's kind of a similar approach where I'm trying to show users what to do. And my approach was actually working with the dev team to write out the scripts, like short tips, and then I just record the voiceover in bulk, and they record the screen recording, and I just give it to an editor to edit together, and then we'll upload like once a week. And that's kind of a good approach to this, where you figure out, okay, what are the things that people need help with? How can I do it in a cool way? Write it all out, do it in bulk, prep it in advance, and then that way you're not like in the middle of the week like, oh gosh, I need to get a video up and stressed about it or something. I think they could probably take that same sort of approach here, and it would help them streamline it and get more views.
But I mean, it's awesome to see. I love to see a business on YouTube kind of leveraging it for organic growth. Something we do all the time.
Yeah.
So if this is a tool you guys are interested in, be sure to check out TimeBolt. And yeah, just good luck to them on their journey.
Yeah, good luck, Doug.
All right. So I think they are here in the chat. We are going to get into random selections now for the second half of the stream. You've been posting on the forums down below, and we are going to start picking randomly. We use a special tool for that, and it's this. It's the CLAAAW.
That's so cool.
It has an over-dramatic introduction for absolutely no reason.
It really does.
So the CLAAAWs are random number picker. We have 304 responses on the non-gaming forum, and we get so many gaming channels, we split them up. So in the gaming forum, we have 139 responses. So we'll start with non-gaming, and we're just going to go into here. We're going to type 304, and we've never seen these channels before. We don't know what we're in for. So here we go, 194. And we'll pick something.
Loading.
There we go. So they make long form videos. They're a music channel. I'm not sure how to say their name. Let's pull it up on the big screen here. Shrinaath?
I think it's Shrinaath.
Okay, thank you. That's probably closer.
Shrinaath Records.
So
Interesting.
fully
Okay.
committed to the music niche. Okay. They did a 100 subscriber special 11 months ago, and then their last upload looks like 3 weeks ago. So they've been a bit absent from YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, it's not clear exactly what type of music you're getting into. Like when you first come onto the page, you're like, okay, Shrinaath Records. Okay, I see the logo there. There's a lot going on in the banner where it's like, new videos coming soon and have a great 2024. I feel like have a great 2024 is maybe good for like January only. And then,
Yeah.
we'll move on. So maybe try to, have something more visual here. And then you can have like on YouTube Discord, like icons in the corner, but something that visualizes what is Shrinaath Records, right? Because I'm not getting that in the banner here.
If there's a specific type of artist that you list on your channel, a specific type of music, I think that's going to be important here, because if you're trying to build up a regular viewership, you're probably gonna have a better time with that specific genre, that interest that they have. And that's kind of what's missing for me. I mean, this is hard, right? Like music channels always stump us because they need a place to post their music and their music video and things like that. But if you're not searching for the specific artist, uh, it's kind of difficult to find. But if you're searching for a specific type of music, maybe you could retitle and package these videos for that. But now the artist is getting lost in translation. So it's a bit of a
Right.
balancing act they have to do.
Well, it's not clear. Like it looks like this is some sort of independent, music company. But if your goal is to market the music from the record, uh, in that case, maybe having a consistent look for the different type of music on the record would help. But if you're a type of music channel where you just want to create like these amazing beats that you want people to listen to, like for example, relaxing music nonstop 2 hours, like those type of channels can get like a ton of subscribers and a ton of views because people just want some background music to listen to. And I
Right.
noticed that what is that? Let Christmas Ring True at the
Oh,
top
here
here.
we
Like
go.
that one has just like the one next to it, a little bit less than the one next to it, but that one is Here We New Year. Is that what it says? Here We New
Yeah,
Year.
here we New Year.
Okay. Those two, are specific to a particular time of year, right? So you're going to get views because it's like people are like, oh, Christmas music, New Year music for a party or something. They're going to be Googling that stuff to play on YouTube because that's what you do on YouTube in the background, like at a party or something. You're playing it, if not on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I haven't watched any of these content. Like, can we play like is just a waveform here? Oh, please
Please
use
use headphones.
headphones. Okay.
I will say when I click on a music video on YouTube, I typically don't get any of this. The song just kind of starts. So
Right.
I'm being asked to do a little bit of work here.
Right.
And I don't know if we're allowed to play this, so I'll just kind of mute it from there.
Oh, that's a good point. I think just starting with this, right?
Yeah, right here.
And it's already a visualizer in that sense, the impressionistic painting. Why not just start here, and then maybe end with your logo at the end? You already have the overlay in the corner that looks quite nice.
That would be my advice too. Anytime I've clicked on a video from a song, it's played immediately. So I was a little bit taken aback that it was like a whole bunch of like, kind of like when a movie's starting, they got to tell you everybody
Right.
involved.
Right.
But yeah, this is definitely a tough one. I think we've pointed out a couple interesting things here with the seasonal content. 100 sub special for a channel like this feels a little bit out of place. Very
Mhm.
personal to you, and it's cool that you did that. But keep in mind why people may be coming back to this channel, and that's for the music. So I would say a consistent genre could be helpful here. If you're gonna have a record label, maybe there should be a face on this channel. Maybe somebody should be like, talking about the behind the scenes of creating this music. And it's just difficult. This is a difficult thing to like sell people on, and I think if you want to grow like an organic following, there's got to be something or someone to be attached to.
Yeah, and even if they decide not to go the head route, the talking head route, I mean, the text is very small on these thumbnails, and if you just have like a beautiful impressionistic painting and maybe a waveform, that would be beautiful. Just make the next video the same thing, a different visual that kind of has a similar color scheme, maybe not, with a waveform or something. And then people are like, oh, this is Shrinaath's, a Shrinaath's, sorry, I cannot pronounce it, records, based on that visual. So, having all that text, I can't even read it from here. I mean, I need my glasses on or something to be able to see what's going on. You don't need to have your logo in each video either, or in each thumbnail either, I can see.
So I saw live streams. I was going to recommend this. It looks like they did one. For the holidays, I made a huge mistake, and I tried to pull up some Christmas music on YouTube, and there's a lot of live streams. And then for the entire month of December, that's all YouTube thought I wanted. So my TV was just, whenever I turned it on, here's like 100 live streams. But they all seem to have some pretty decent views. And if you have music that you can put together for a long live stream, that could be something as well, especially if you have seasonal stuff. So just other tips to keep in mind. This is an exceptionally hard space to grow in. I think the most successful YouTube channels I've seen, like Connor Price, for example, like artists that really put their face on it, and they leverage shorts and longs, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, it's a good point.
We'll move on to the first gaming channel of the stream now. Refresh the form here just to make sure. Aha. Okay. I was going to say, let me refresh this one as well. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we want to make sure everyone's in here. 451 responses on the gaming forum so far. 151. And it's 218. Okay. How comfortable are you with gaming channels?
I mean, I've experienced them. My nephew watches them. So I'm kind of a secondhand watcher.
All right. I want to say Bradley, but the letters are mixed up here.
Yeah, Braldy.
And we have 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome to see. And just to double check, I think they did say long form content was their focus right now. So we will start there. And unfortunately,
it's a Polish channel actually. And I'm learning some Polish because my partner's Polish and I'm actually based in Europe right now. So I can actually read this one. Stare nowe means like old. Stare means old and nowe means like new. So ironically, this has happened that I can read some of it.
I was just going to say, unfortunately, I do not speak the language, so this is great. now
yeah,
it's all on you.
Great. What does it say? Kiedy zemsta muszę się do... Okay. Kiedy is when. I'm not sure what the second word is. Muszę, something is like you have to do something. But anyway, I mean, we can watch one of them, just visually give feedback if we want to, even if we don't understand fully what's happening here.
Sure. Which one do you think?
Maybe the Stare Nowe one.
Is that just which one's that one?
The one with the green text. It just stands out to me.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, that one.
I was reading the titles. Okay, cool. So this is Five Nights at Freddy's. I recognize that.
Czemu tam jest lina? Siema widzowie, ja jestem Braldy. Dzisiaj lecimy z The Return to Freddy's Stories. Zapewne znacie ten fajny The Return to Freddy's, bo już było.
So my sense was we had a like coming soon kind of sequence. And then we got into like we're coming back to play, the Return to Freddy's Stories.
Yeah, he introduced himself, like who he was, and today we're going to be playing this. So, pretty, straightforward. This is what's going on. I know that there's a huge Polish gamer here, and I can't remember his name, but he has millions of subscribers, and I can't remember how he starts his videos, but his thumbnails all have a consistent look. And I think from this, if we want to know that this is Braldy's stuff, we need kind of a consistent look like this on the other thumbnails. Because I think this thumbnail is pretty solid. but the other ones don't have similar looks, so it wouldn't stick out to me that that's Braldy's work, you know? It's a tough
Right,
one
yeah.
for me because, well, A, it's like, we don't 100% know fully what each title is saying, right? From the language barrier. But, I think the one that has 2015 and 2024 in the Storie Nove, like that style, I see the correlation there. And if he could somehow think about how he can frame his other videos in that style, I think already you could increase the views. Because those two videos have the highest views.
Yeah.
You notice that?
They're doing awesome. Like, it seems like the more simple the thumbnail, the better they tend to do. Even when we're not doing a split screen, things seem to be going pretty well. But like this video here is the one that's probably these last two are the ones that are probably the most confusing to me because there's so much text and so many things happening.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going on. Like, I think visually, even if I don't speak the language, I should know a little bit, right, of what's happening based on that
Yeah.
thumbnail. And because we don't, we just it's even more difficult to see what might be happening there. But it looks like he's posting every 2 weeks, which is a pretty good amount
Mhm.
in terms of rate. But yeah, I think just, again, it's hard for me to, judge the content because I don't know what works that well in the gaming community because I don't really watch it. I've watched some like games of like people driving cars and the cars are like crashing into objects. And that's interesting because it's just like a montage of a car being driven and like just getting destroyed. And it's actually, I just watched it because my nephew was watching it and then I got really into it. I was like, whoa, that's a great wipeout. But again, I would focus on the design and figuring out kind of like your personality, like what do you want to show in these games? I know a lot of people bring in friends and they're talking to their friends. That can make it a little bit more interesting. I don't know about you, Dan, but I don't really have much to give with the gaming community at this time.
Typically they all look to me as the gaming person around here, which is totally fine. But I'm totally with you that like based on like the language barrier and then also just kind of what we're seeing, what's working. It's I think this one's kind of cut and dry to me. I can recognize these as before and after thumbnails, and I don't speak the language, so just a clear and simple message is really benefiting the channel. And I'm not saying every single thumbnail you make needs to be a split screen. I'm saying that it needs to be understood by somebody, even if they're not able to read the title or they haven't gotten their eyes that far down yet where they've read the title. If the story starts to unfold with a good thumbnail, like you're already winning, you're already doing something right. And that's what these two videos I think are doing here. And you have other examples too of some outliers as well. So
Yeah.
overall, this is a great job for a channel with 45 videos, over 1,000 subscribers. Keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Great job, Braldy.
Let's real quick before we get to our next channel, I just want to mention that again, Creator Appreciation Week wrapping up today. So last chance to get 50% off of our Boost tools, which is all of our tools here at vidIQ, full access to them. You can use the links below or code JustCreate or JustCreate-YR at checkout. And some of those tools, you've seen the extension throughout the whole live stream everywhere, giving you all kinds of information to help you with research and understanding videos on a deeper level. But we also have an entire app, and you can use this on your phone or on the web. This is the web app. And when you log into it, you're going to get, as long as you've authenticated your channel, you're going to have it give you regular ideas based on your channel, what you're doing. This is linked to our channel, obviously. So we're talking about subscribers and YouTube growth and things like that. If you're doing Five Nights at Freddy's content, you're going to start getting ideas for videos like that every single day. You're going to have access to a growth plan with tons of lessons where you can try to learn different aspects of YouTube. You're going to have access to our AI content generator where you can generate a script or an outline for a YouTube video with just a few words. You're going to have access to our keyword tool. Now, I've been showing this off. Like, I love this tool because I'll do Stardew Valley again as an example. Stardew Valley, awesome game. You type in a keyword and suddenly you're getting questions, real questions that real humans are asking about these games. And this gives you a great basis if you are making search-driven content to go, okay, people want to know how to mod Stardew Valley. That's really good to know. So all of these tools become fully unlocked when you join Boost. And one last thing I'll say about it is that if you join Boost right now during this live stream, you're going to have access to your very own one-on-one coach for a month if you are one of the 5 people chosen from the stream. So if you are one of the 5 chosen, you will be emailed when the stream concludes, and we'll let you know that you got not only did you just unlock Boost because you bought it, but now you have your own one-on-one coach for an entire month because we do have a one-on-one coaching program as well. So that is vidIQ, and it is the end of Creator Appreciation Week. So this is your last chance.
Yeah, and to add to that, Dan, I've been using vidIQ since 2017. I think I got introduced to it at Social Media Marketing World back in the day. And I have to say, even just using the basic version has been awesome. I have Boost now, but it's so great to just go in and see the checklist of what I need to do and, suggesting the keywords. Even without the added AI stuff, it's still very useful, especially with my content that's very search-based. Like, how do I do this? It's just like, it's nice to have that reassurance that I'm like, the video is going to be okay. Like vidIQ is telling you it's going to be okay based on that score that you get with the tags.
I mean, and just the search term Premiere Pro has really high search volume, high competition, but not the highest. And then we have how to color grade in Premiere Pro is one of the top questions right now.
I'm actually planning a video on that, so that's good to know.
Excellent. How to remove green screens in Premiere Pro. So there you go. Best of luck to everybody out there. We're going to get into more random selections now. We'll go back to the CLAAAW.
I'm in there at the bottom.
Wait, what?
At the bottom of that page that you were just on, scroll down. My thumbnail's there.
Oh. It will do that too. It will pull up trending videos for Premiere Pro.
Cool.
So if you weren't aware that this video is trending, now you know. Let's see. Let's go into the form here and refresh real quick just to make sure. And we will update the CLAAAW for 8:44.
The CLAAAW. It's like a villain character, the CLAAAW.
Whenever we do this, Rob always uses the Toy Story sound effect, and I'm always worried we're going to get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
584. Keh Olaleye? I'm terrible with channel pronunciation.
Keh Olaleye.
I'm not.
See what's going on.
I'm doing my best. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Keh Olaleye. Keh Olaleye. I think it
sounds
is.
a lot closer. 1.72K subscribers, 59 videos. That's excellent progress.
Very nice.
And they said they are focused on long form videos, so that is what we will focus on. What is jumping out here? I think it's a general tip, real quick. You may already know this, but just in case, this was 8 months ago. One of your vertical videos is over a minute long, and therefore it is not technically in a YouTube short. It's not going to show up on the YouTube Shorts shelf. So it has to be under a minute long to do that.
Yeah, YouTube will automatically detect that. And in Premiere Pro, if you export, you can actually publish direct to YouTube from Premiere Pro now. And if your video's in a 9:16 aspect ratio, which is vertical, and it's under 60, it'll automatically upload. YouTube will know this is a short, which is very useful to know. So
really
wait, his
short.
most recent one was 8 months ago?
It looks like it. This one has the date on it. So they told us they're focused on long form. It looks like they've maybe made shorts a little more recently.
Interesting. So maybe they're playing around with that. The 2 lights photography, 1 light photography. Those have similar looks. Like it could be like, okay. It is a little hard to read the photography on there.
Yeah, the yellow thin cursive kind of text.
And like with multiple photos. I don't know if he follows Pixin Perfect, but his thumbnails just really, they're on Photoshop, but still kind of related to photography and
Ah.
stuff. Even the ones where he's not in it, they're just easy to see what's going on and they're catchy. So you could even like just have like one light with like an arrow and like the subject. That's pretty much all you need. I think that your thumbnail should tell the story in like a very simple way or pose a question. And this one here is like 2 lights photography, but okay, I don't really see the images. What makes that stand out? Like, why is that unique to have 2 light photography, and what does
Mm.
that mean exactly? So, um, maybe something that makes it more a little bit more intriguing. Maybe choose less subjects to feature, and actually show maybe some of the equipment next
Yeah.
to the subject might be nice.
That's what I was thinking. If it's going to be 2 lights photography, I want to see the lights. Like, just
Yeah, 2
yeah,
lights.
like come out from the set and like show the 2 lights. But then when you said, I was really fixated on that. But as soon as you said, what does that really mean? Like, why should I? It's kind of like the question of why should I watch this? I'm thinking, oh, so yeah, this is probably one video. These 2 videos, 2 light versus 1 light photography,
Mm.
and the thumbnail. You could try, especially once we get the ability to test YouTube thumbnails, like multiple ones. You could try one. I got a fly in here. You could try one that is, the 2 subjects, and you could try one with just the lights to demonstrate the point of here's 2 lights, here's 1 light. Just like really explain it to me without having me read the title.
Yeah, like 2 lights on one side versus 1 light. And that's enough. And, like, there's a few other outlier videos here too, like this one where he's on Instant 360, and it's not really clear if that's, like, a test video. Just, he's trying out different things here, but once you find one thing that kind of feels good and, like, clicks, like, try to stay consistent with that or do what Paul did, the fitness was it Paul? The fitness guy where he started his channel and then he kinda had a fresh start and he, like, privated all those other ones. Maybe keep a few of the ones that you like here, like, some of these look cool, like this Rode wireless range test, that, like, is an intriguing image. And just maybe update the thumbnails on some of the older ones. But yeah, like here, like faith, liberty, and then all of a sudden, Rode microphone. It's not really clear, what the channel's about.
Mm.
Other than in the banner, you say that it's like filmmaking and photography.
Yeah, and this is something we sometimes talk about with channels. Filmmaker photography, that makes sense. Gears, lifestyle, and travels.
That's a lot.
Suddenly this channel is about many, many things. If you go to
Mhm.
Premiere Gal, you instantly know what you're going to get. But
And actually, I don't have a banner anymore. I like we were experimenting with different ones and I just didn't like it, so I just decided I don't need one right now.
I was going to say, yeah, this is interesting. You're finding that to be, I mean, I guess this becomes the banner. It's just very nice and clear.
It just looked cleaner to me, in my opinion.
I never considered that. I've never considered just removing the banner altogether.
I saw it on one channel and I liked how it looked on a mobile device, and I was like, "That's just, like, super clean," and I get right into the content. And I was like, "Maybe I should experiment with that," and I haven't it's been, like, half a year. I haven't had one or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's now you got me thinking about that. Whenever I start a new channel, I'm like, oh, I got to make a banner.
It's
But
not necessary anymore, I think.
yeah, that's a great point. So you could consider removing the banner, but more importantly, I worry about the creator's channel focus overall. It looks like you want to do a lot of things,
Mhm.
and when I saw the music
Mhm.
videos down here that did very well, like I feel like you're bringing the wrong audience. You got people into like different music videos, and then you shifted to like teaching people photography, and your views dropped because that's going to happen. A lot of people subscribed over here, and then you pivoted. Try to focus on like one specific type of viewer. I'm not saying one type of content forever and ever. You can do lighting and photography on the same channel, but who's the viewer? Are you trying to appeal to somebody who is like just the beginning of their journey and they're in college, they're trying to learn this stuff? Are you trying to appeal to someone who's been doing this for a long time? They're trying to grow a business. Like all of those things, that viewer avatar matters so much because I think it's gonna give you direction. You haven't uploaded in a long time, and I think that might be part of it. Maybe you're just trying to figure all that out. So stop thinking about your next, oh, I need to make a video. Like think about I need to make a video for and fill in that blank.
Right, and choose the thing that inspires you the most. Because if you're gonna be making a full-on channel about it, make sure that you're excited about that topic, right? Because once you commit to it, you're like, "Okay," imagine if I hated video editing. Well, that would be terrible. To make a video
I,
every week on this topic?
I don't know if you would
No.
have gotten here.
Exactly, you need to be passionate about it.
So,
Yeah, I think I think that's enough feedback for this one. I mean, just, choose one thing and focus on that.
best of luck to you, and let's get some videos on the channel. Let's get in there. All right, we will pick a a gaming channel now. We have I don't trust the form to update itself now, so I'm refreshing 484 on the gaming side. And we will pick 25. Wow, much earlier in the day.
Early.
The Alien Gamer. Let's see. So they are focused on long form content. All right. I'm seeing a lot of Stitch. It's kind of like the branding of the channel. It's kind of like they've really embraced it too because they're using that avatar.
Mm.
That's interesting. So they're like almost cosplaying as Stitch.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the actual game itself, the cover image, but what's really cool about AI now with graphic design is you can kind of take a certain character and apply a different style to it, which could have been what they did here. They could have done that for the Batman one. Like they could have made Stitch Batman for that.
I want to see what the videos are like. I'm going to go ahead and mute that just in case.
Wow.
The first thing I'll say is that while those look really cool, that's similar to the BD bricks from earlier, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing starts with a logo on the screen. Don't necessarily need that, but 6 seconds, it's not that bad. Let's see what the video sounds like after that.
It's Stitch here, and welcome back to more Batman Telltale.
Okay, they're really committed to this.
It's Stitch here. All right, let's review the channel with the Stitch voice going forward.
That's all you.
Well, let's recommend the thumbnails.
I feel like we should recommend a lawyer. I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, copyright issues. I mean, what would, I can't remember who produced Lilo and Stitch, but really they would go after a small channel like this. But at the same time, it's like AI scanning this stuff now for anything to get flagged. So, I mean, it kind of feels like it's targeting a little bit younger of an audience, it seems like. Or people that love Lilo and Stitch. No hate if you're older and you love it, you know. Um, the like pictures on the side here. So a lot of real estate is taken up by that side
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, a lot of the gameplay has been shrunk down as a result of all of this stuff here. And Stitch, I assume it's supposed to be kind of like a VTuber, but I'm not seeing a lot of animation. Like usually VTubers are more animated.
Yeah, the VTuber scene. I was recently introduced to that because I saw one of the channel submissions. Somebody that was like, "How to be a VTuber." I've never heard of that before. It's very interesting. I've heard about like faceless channels and like people creating like AI clones of themselves, but in an animated way. A little more introduction, a little bit more personality coming through here, I think would be cool because without sound right now, it just looks like a floating, like, Lilo just
Yeah.
like this without anything to listen to. I'm sure he's probably saying something. And another, like, minor critique is that the picture frames that are above him, it looks like the images are kind of, like, a little bit warped in aspect ratio. Like, it doesn't look and you can't even really see what's in that left one above his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe starting off like this and then editing a zoom in to the actual screen, and then you can zoom back out. That's a very easy technique to do. So you can kind of focus on the content and then see Lilo if you want to keep that side. Or sorry, not Lilo, Stitch. Or you can have Stitch kind of pop up and down at different stages. Yeah.
Yeah. I love those techniques. I think that would work better than the static images. It's like there's not a lot of like movement. It's like there for the sake of being there. You're really trying to sell the stitch part. I think my biggest concern for this channel is that Venn diagram of fans of Lilo and Stitch and fans of certain video games. And because we're jumping around from Batman to Spider-Man, which I mean makes sense, but then to Sonic, and then to just some other stuff that isn't necessarily like games all the time. Walking Dead, it's going to be difficult because you're kind of niched down in a very odd way. Like I'm going to have to like Stitch to watch this channel, and that's okay. Very popular IP, and if you want to commit to that, totally cool. But I'm also going to have to like Batman, Telltale Games, and Sonic, and so I would really be, again, my advice would be really focus on that audience avatar, because we are jumping around a bit, and we can definitely, I completely agree with all the tips on like improving the actual content itself, getting people to stick around. These are very long videos, especially these ones, and you're committing a lot of time to this. So we just want to see you become even more successful.
Right. Good points.
So yeah, we'll call it there. Alien Gamer, thank you so much for submitting. We'll go on to the next non-gaming channel, which is on this form. And refresh. And it looks like 883 still. Awesome. And we'll pick out number 580. Did we already do? No, we did 584. All right. ThatExplainerGuy. We got long form videos and they explain things. Let's see what you explain. Oh, okay. We have 2 videos, so not a lot to dig into here.
Very new.
Very new channel.
Okay. Do we want to start watching the first one?
Yeah.
So get into the content a little
How
bit.
to make money online. There are many ways of making money online in our days, but not all of them are.
Okay. Immediately AI voice.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, YouTube just announced recently, I don't know if you saw this, Dan, probably did, but there's a new disclaimer that you have to put in all videos that include a synthetic or AI-generated content. It doesn't affect your views. It just notifies the viewer that they're watching something that was AI-generated.
Yeah.
Kind of like those banners in the beginning if the video is sponsored. It's like that. So I don't know if it would apply to these type of videos too, because technically it could have just been like a stock voice, but it's going to be hard to regulate this, I think, in the long run. But definitely I think it could follow under that, but I'm not sure if it counts for just voice only.
Yeah.
But it could, right? Because if somebody makes, I don't know, a voice with like the classic like Morgan Freeman voice and it's not actually him, is that considered impersonating somebody? Anyway, sorry, that was a digression from the content.
No, that's all right. It's
Yeah.
a good point, because this is the kind of thing that I think people should be aware of. You've probably seen people talking about this, but yeah, does this describe your content? And you'll want to answer this honestly. Now, I don't know, like makes a real person appear to say or do something they didn't say or do, alters footage of a real event or place, generates a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. Maybe based on this description, it doesn't need to be checked.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't. The only thing about the generate something that doesn't actually exist that's like gray area for me is that a lot of like well-produced stuff that has like a CGI set, does that count as that? Because it's not actually a real scene. So
That's true.
So I feel like that point for me, it's like, is it fully AI generated, or can it be like fake in the sense that like humans were a part of making that intentionally? Anyway, so a lot to think about. ThatExplainerGuy.
There's my couple big things when I see a channel like this. First of all, welcome to YouTube. I think this is awesome. There's 2 different topics here that I would say kind of vastly differ from one another. And these could almost go down a rabbit hole of 2 separate channels completely, in my opinion. Like making money online. We've seen plenty of channels like that. And then political ideologies explained. Like you could do a channel about government and things like that. So there are two like really separate topics here, and you do want to build like a consistent audience. The other thing is when people hear that AI voice, I would say that specific one too, it's so robotic and for me personally grating. Like I don't like that voice. They may click off, and there's like some amazing tools now for voice cloning and better sounding AI voices. But there is also going to be, in my cynical point of view, there's like, okay, you're using an AI voice, so I'm not hearing a real person. Was any of this content like maybe generated using AI in the sense like the script or whatever? And is it fully trustworthy because it can get stuff wrong? So I kind of want some sources sometimes. Yeah, I want you got to earn my trust back a little bit if you're going to use a voice like that, because I'm going to start asking those questions. So authenticity is super, super important, especially when you're giving people advice about how to make money online. And I don't mean to bring anyone down, but that is some of the things this channel may struggle with going forward. And you're early in your journey, so this is something that you should be aware of now. Just going forward.
I also noticed in his title in the first one, there's a lot of hashtags in the actual title, which is, I'm not sure how that affects the video, but normally people put hashtags in the description. Um,
So yeah, I don't know if it's going to really do anything. I think it makes the title a little harder to read.
Right.
And then when you click on them, this has been my problem with YouTube hashtags. When you click on them, anyone who's used this hashtag now we're here, but no one, in my opinion, no one's searching YouTube like this.
Yeah, not at all.
So something you may not need to do. Wow. Okay. Everything got wonky there. So that's that explainer guy. There's only 2 videos here, so not much to dig into, but, I mean, not terrible views for 8 subscribers and 2 videos. So I think you might be onto something, but yeah, hopefully our advice helps out.
Yeah.
And
maybe just explainer guy. I don't know if there is an explainer guy already, but having something smushed together as one word is a little bit harder to read. If you add a space and just have explainer guy, that's a little bit more catchy in my opinion.
I like that too, yeah. We'll move on to another gaming channel.
Somebody wrote CLAAAW time.
You know the drill. 504. Okay, oh sorry, 504 total, and 369 is the number we've chosen. Shorts channel. All right. I've been wondering when we were going to get someone declaring they were a shorts channel. Here we go. Now, shorts are all editing. Really important to have a well-edited short. Looks like they are gaming videos. I want to say Russian, perhaps?
Yeah. I mean, we have some Cyrillic letters there, in addition to English too.
Ah, okay, yeah. Let's click on this one. I got 5,000 views, so this one stood out. So we hear, guns and helicopters and certainly dramatic. And we can hear someone on the radio kind of panicking. I want to say what probably got people to stop scrolling on this one was just the sheer drama of it, and it's pretty quick before things go awry. Boom. And now, like, okay, how are they going to get out of this? And when it comes to shorts, that really
they're
is what
not
it's
getting
about.
out of it.
They're not. No, they're not going to survive that. When it comes to shorts, that really is what it's about, is like getting people to stop scrolling.
Yeah, I mean, in this case too, like, be consistent too, like with the audience. Like, are you going to post just in English, or are you going to post in Russian or Ukrainian? I'm not quite sure which way you want to go with, but it does, I think English does broaden your audience, right? Because there are a lot more channels in that. But if you choose to go in your native language, then I guess keep it that way. It's a hard way to go. It looks like the ones that are in Cyrillic language have more views.
I went to popular.
Oh, you went to popular.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. I'll take that back.
It could still be true, I suppose. Well, let's try one in
AI.
English. Gotta chew off
Okay.
his own leg. I hope this isn't graphic.
Oh boy.
What world are you thinking, Jack? I can't believe the decision you've made. If the
I guess it's just hard to know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what to get from this channel. Oh no, negative. But I mean, they use a captioning tool to help with this.
Oh, well. Sorry to start doing swear
Oh,
words.
it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not really my style of
Mhm.
content to come through and kind of see like just
Yeah.
what looks like a screen recording of a game is what I think it is, kind of clipped down. Um, I guess think about kind of the goal of the channel, right? The value that you're providing with the user, and make sure that that's clear in all of your content. Remember what I was saying in the beginning, like why are people watching? Are they following your video gaming journey? Are they trying to learn like insights or secrets about this game from you? Is it just purely entertainment? If so, you know, a little bit more than just the screen recording would be helpful, I think, because then they get to connect more with you. Because I mean, the YouTube, right? There's the you in there. So how does that play into this? What makes this unique compared to me just screen recording this game and uploading it, right? Like, why would I want to watch the VGR play instead of another channel that's doing the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's when you have like a funny moment and stuff, nothing wrong with this. I've just
Yeah.
for the long-term success, it does feel like we need something again to latch onto. That's what's missing for me as well.
Mhm.
Um, but that was the VGR play. Best of luck, and sorry again for any language barriers. Before we move on, real quick, there were a couple super chats. Now, I did note we don't have time to read super chats today. We did get a couple, and I appreciate the super chats. We won't be looking at any more, but I did want to pull just a couple of these up. VidIQ Boost has helped me improve how I operate my channel a lot. Mystery Master, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for your super chat. We have a question here. Would you recommend transitioning from faceless if the focus is predominantly documentary style? Which is an interesting question. I do think it's going to come down to you and your personal goals. Kelsey, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that desire to be able to more quickly create content. And certainly when you're not on camera, you can do a voiceover, or as we were talking about before, there are voice cloning tools. I've tried out a couple myself, and some of them are getting really good. And if you think you can visually tell your story well, the thing is that the editing relies entirely on custom made visuals too. So when you don't have a face to cut back to, that's more footage that you have to think about of editing, right? And if you're hiring an editor or working with somebody, that's usually a higher fee because there's a lot more work involved. So there's a few different pros and cons of either choice, but I think you should think about both of the options and which works in the long run for you, so you don't feel burnt out by being on camera, for example.
Absolutely. Lights Out True Crime. Last question here. Would you upload paranormal on a true crime channel? I think kind of depends. Did the ghost commit a crime? Again, is there like a is the crime element of still like there in some regard? That would be my question back.
I mean, I'll leave it to that. I'm not quite sure
You can test it.
what yeah.
Yeah, I would encourage anybody if you're thinking this might kind of fit, it definitely fits my personal interests. Your channel won't die a horrible death because you tested one thing and it didn't go well. So
Right. No.
um,
I think, I was having a conversation with Hayden Hillier Smith. He runs a editing podcast, and he was saying, like, each month, like, keep the algorithm happy, like, keep it focused on what you like, but do one video a month just for you to keep that heart happy. And I think that's really good advice. And it is related to experimentation too, right? Because maybe that random video that you decided to try out actually does really well, and then you can continue with that for a little while.
yeah, I mean, there's so many ways, like because we're not seeing the content. It could be that somebody set up a hotel and you can go and get this like paranormal experience, but it turns out they're scamming everybody. And then there's the true crime element. So it's kind of a lot of ways to like dissect that. We also got some numbers as well. So just quick shout out to our returning and new members. Thank you so much. And once again, last chance to get vidIQ Boost, 50% off for an annual subscription or a monthly subscription. Links are down below. Kelsey of Premiere Gal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Dan. This was so fun. This was so casual. This was great conversation. I learned a lot too through this whole process, and I hopefully my advice was useful to several of the channels that we reviewed. Thank you guys so much for submitting.
Yes, thank you, everybody. We're back on Tuesday with another channel review live stream. We do this every single Tuesday, so please be sure to join us. Subscribe to Premiere Gal, and that's it. Goodbye. You can leave. We're done. So have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.
Bye.